Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors' past performance. It's not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Woo. Okay, so market hasn't quite opened yet. We are seeing a bit of volume going here at 075. That has been support for a bit. We may yet move up. We may on the open bust through it. But the deal is that over the weekend, Donald Trump and President Xi of China had their dinner, and it apparently it went well, or at least they're saying it went well. Honestly, guys, really think about it. If you're Donald Trump and you set up a meeting like that and you create so much market expectation out of it, are you going to come out of that meeting without something? I mean, if he came out of that meeting without something, let's fix it. The camera's a little off today. It would be a total disaster. You have to say something good. But they said something good, and the E-mini opened up way higher. And look at it on a daily basis now. Look at where it come. That's a huge overnight gap. Those now gaps in the E-mini almost. I want to say almost. I have found some, but almost always get filled. So yeah, this is a huge gap. I don't know what's going to happen, but we may see us break these highs. That's totally a possibility today. A monster trend day of some sort, but you never know. They could fill the gap. They could, and I think they're going to be extra tricky. And you can kind of see here, they get these icebergs at 075. They're going to make things difficult for us. But I think that given the context, I only want to be shorting treasuries. Oh yeah, let's make sure that we had the squawk on. Now, we do have some news this week, don't we? What do we got? Oh, and let's make sure that we the links. That's weird. Oh, okay, so we have an FOMC member who was speaking earlier. We have ISM at 8. Then later this week, we have on Wednesday the non-farm. Okay, so this is going to be interesting because we could see those pre-Fed moves, but we got to keep an eye out for those. Okay, let's post the links. I'm feeling kind of weird today. I slept like a rock, but I didn't wake up very well.
USMCA to be passed quickly. Congress.
Like really deep sleep, and then when I woke, but waking up was a little bit jolting. So I think I'm still reeling from that, and I don't know if I didn't eat enough last night or what, but I kind of feel like heartburn or like it feels hot right here. Anyways. And I'm still sick, but I haven't had to blow my nose yet. Let's do that. Yeah, it's not running, but it's definitely still a problem. Okay, so we've come up again. So kind of what I'm looking for, actually. There we go. Notice that Bitcoin keeps trying to recover, and then they come back to this 39.45. Not 39.45, but around 39.5. Does that look familiar to you? That's exactly what they were doing with 6.
Commission saying the Fed is data orientated, and that Trump is not concerned whether the stock market where it is on any given day.
That's probably a lie. Anytime that the stock market looks bad, he starts saying stuff about it. He 100% looks at it every day. I guarantee you. And even though they say that he's not concerned about it, because I'm sure that he understands that stock market can go up and down, but anytime that it's doing something, he knows. This president is more aware and in tune with what the stock market is doing than any president we've ever had. That I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but that's the way it is. The going. Always got one person on Twitch. Thank you for watching, one Twitch viewer. I don't know what you also. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later when we got more people on. We could have some more. I've been interacting with Twitch a little bit more, and I have some thoughts about.
Paul's saying not worried about the size of largest banks now. Says regulation.
Yeah, too late for that one. We can rant about that. Anyways, I have some ideas about what to do with Twitch. See what you guys think. I've been spending more time on it, but for certain games, but no. When we came out of the 2008 financial crisis, like the I don't even remember what the name of the bill was now, but the bill that they passed under Democrat leadership, the post financial crisis bill, it made bank concentration. They encouraged the banks to get bigger, to consolidate. 100%, we did that. I don't know why this isn't a bigger thing in the larger public. You would think that Democrats would be all over that, right? But they 100% encouraged the banks to consolidate. And they did things like they told Goldman Sachs to become a bank holding company, which makes them bigger. It makes it easier for them to handle things when it goes bad. So I'm kind of, I want to be short, but I'm just waiting for it to show me. Waiting for somebody else to sell it first. Oh, why did you change your name? Why did Igor change his name?
Some comments now from Germany saying it's said to push EU to move ahead with US talks. Germany said to want EU to propose a negotiating mandate in December.
Ooh. Okay.
From Fed's Qual saying that neutral rate useful concept in helping monetary policy.
It is. So does that mean, I'm just speculating here, but this is an important kind of speculation to make, I think.
News now, the Brexit Secretary Barclay, as well as Prime Minister's advisor Robbins, are to these.
I think that the Federal Reserve is a little bit frustrated that the market has acted the way that it has in the past month, because they don't feel like that they're being aggressively hawkish. They're just saying, hey, we're just a little bit above neutral. Okay, that might have been the tick we need. I'm gonna wait a little bit. The 5 years not quite reflecting what I'm seeing. They're saying, hey, the rate is below neutral, and typically in a cycle we have to go much, much further before it's really a drag on the economy and everything. And but they continue to look at the thing, and I think that they feel like that they're still being dovish like they were with Yellen. And I think that that's why they keep focusing so much on that they're data dependent, because the board doesn't feel like they've changed anything.
From Fed's Qual saying that the neutral rate is not a terribly precise concept.
Yeah, okay.
As we're coming up to the bottom of the neutral rate range.
I think that the problem is you got Powell in there, and he used the wrong language. And then when the market freaked out, he didn't come out and say like, oh, hey, that's not what I meant. That's what he should have done.
Block buy.
Okay, so somebody still really wants to buy this. You notice also when they raised rates, there was like articles on CNBC saying, yeah, but nothing has really changed, even though the market really liked it. And just like you see articles today, you're going to see articles that are going to say, oh yes,
block buy.
Trump, holy crap. Man. How big of an order was that? Oh my, what the? I'm not messing with that one, man. Holy crap. I've never seen that. That was like...
Trump tweets again, I'm certain that at some time in the future, Z and I together with President Putin of Russia, will start talking about meaningful halt to what has become a major and uncontrollable arms race. The US spent $716 billion this year. Fed's calls saying focusing on neutral rates can cloud communication. Mnuchin saying there is immediate focus on reducing auto tariffs. That Mnuchin says there is immediate focus on reducing auto tariffs.
I don't know what's going on, guys. So when I see buying that aggressive, that could certainly be a signal higher. But we are at a area of resistance. They did block sell immediately afterwards, and we have what looks to be a very positive
Paul's
day.
saying the Fed is doing pretty well on its dual mandate goals.
And we got a bunch of stuff going on right now. Like, there's a lot of news risks, so I'm not so sure that I want to just step in front of something here. And it makes it hard because, based from a risk perspective and the larger time frame perspective and everything, I would rather be short, but it's that amount of buying is a signal long. So I've got conflicting
Paul's saying the performance of the
strands
US
right now.
economy would indicate that the Fed is doing a good job.
So it was at 10 that it happened. Maybe the Chinese decided that they need to load back up on
Mnuchin saying the
bonds
US is
because
to make sure
everything
China
is cool.
appreciating currency.
That's a theory.
Block buy.
Paul's also saying there's a range of views to see about currency.
I don't know if I'm gonna hold this short, but I feel that I have a pretty good interest rates will close Tuesday, December 4th at 4 p.m. and will not reopen until Wednesday, December 5th at 5 p.m. Why?
Paul's saying where the Fed ends up in rate range will depend simply on the data.
No clue, doesn't say. Something's going on.
Snow Pompeo is to go to Brussels on December the 3rd for a NATO ministers meeting.
Something's up. And they bought out 105. So I thought, I was really confident that I was going to be able to get it one tick out there, and they just blew right through it. Yeah, it's so people in Discord are saying that they're going to close them tomorrow. So they pulled there and they're not exactly buying it, but I think that they're going to be forced to. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Sucks. I knew it was a risk. Mnuchin says the electronic trading in the Volcker rule is leading to stock market volatility. Now, that's an interesting subject, but I think that he has a point. I think that with the Volcker rule and without large institutions having traders, that we are left to.
There was a strong promise from China to deal with FX devaluation.
And here they are buying treasuries. Like crazy. Trump liked Fed Chairman Powell's speech last week. I'm not seeing these other headlines that you guys are liking.
New exchanges or buybacks of government bonds before year-end, according to sources. That Italy's Treasury is considering new exchanges or buybacks of government bonds before year-end. Brexit negotiator Ollie Robbins saying the backstop is uncomfortable for both sides. Paul saying the market seems pretty clear about what the Fed intends.
Because live Squawk is not talking about it. Where's Rand Squawk? Why am I not seeing them?
More equity news via the Kyodo. San outside board members to meet on December the 4th to pick the chair.
And they buy it again. That was a while ago. They bought this up crazy, didn't they?
Robbins saying the Brexit backstop does not presume trade. Mexico's President Obrador saying working on a three-way investment plan with the US and Canada to tackle migration.
Yeah, Alligator has a good point there as well about. We're talking earlier about talking about strategies, and Alligator was saying that forums are more appropriate
Walk
for those
by.
chats than Discord. All right, well, we just had like a monster move up, and we're just not involved. Why would you buy it that like that? Oh,
Trump
okay.
saying both sides want to achieve as frictionless trade as possible in the relationship.
CME group that will observe the passing of George Bush with a moment of silence at 7:18 on Monday, and the closure of its products on December 5th. Powell is supposed to testify to Congress on Wednesday, and they're going to close the markets? No. One of those two things isn't going to happen. I don't know. That's super fucked up, though, huh? Okay, now we're seeing some spreading because oh, they're pushing through some big buy-in, though. Maybe they're just masking it with the Bush passing.
Just seeing Trump tweet again
Mm-mm-mm.
would save billions of dollars if the Democrats would give us the votes to build the wall. Either way, people will not be allowed into a country illegally. We will close the entire southern border if necessary. Also stop the drugs.
Mm-hmm. His tweet actually says also. Oh, guys. What is going on? Oh, come on. You could film me, please. You don't have to. But I would appreciate it if you did. I would appreciate it. My spot in line compared to the amount of liquidity on the bid is not terribly confidence inducing. I tried to come up with like really flowery language to say that, but I don't think it really worked out very well, did it, guys? 15K buy. Okay. Right. Okay, so Zerv says to fill the gap. That's a possibility too. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm glad I pulled that. They blew right through that. Fat finger. It might have been a fat finger. I mean, it could be.
Tria and Dombrovskis said they want to find a rapid deal on the Italy budget, according to an economy ministry statement.
Is 110 kind of where we were? Is it that really accurate? I mean, it was kind of where we were on Friday. I'd say it matters.
Calls saying the Fed should be data dependent but not react to every wavering change course without significant.
Okay. There's a food hitting my stomach. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so was 110 was where I tried to get it. They went through and they came back a little bit more aggressively that time. Where was the lot? It was at 11.5. Wait, what? That's not right. There was another one at 11.5. 10. Well, I don't know if it's going to go up or not. If it's going to keep going up or not. What do you think? I haven't checked you guys over here in YouTube and Twitch. How you guys doing? Hey, Gabriel. How's it going? What's happening? Boom, baby. Okay, that's a new name. Nice to have you here this morning. Oh, okay. Uzi knew about it too. They're closing the markets to honor President Bush. Oh, do they? They always do this when a president passes away. Okay. And how big was that one? 4,000. Well. Yeah, that was what we wanted. See now. Okay. I've been reading up on HFT execution, and it seems none of us mere mortals will understand what is happening in the order book. Maybe another algo managed to cause another algo to trade heavily by spamming the bid offer fat finger by the computer. Yeah, not even the people that program it understand why it buys and why it sells sometimes. And that's a little scary. I think they should just get rid of the Volcker rule. Check open interest tomorrow, yes.
Heads up, we should shortly get the UK publishing legal advice on Brexit. More equity news. Glencore CEO saying to maintain focus on buybacks and deleveraging.
I don't know. Okay, now it's lined up the way it should be.
Energy news: Russia and Saudis are said to differ on how to share oil cuts. Russia said it would cut output by a max of 150,000 barrels per day. Saudi Arabia wants more equal distribution of output cuts. Russia-Saudi talks to continue before the OPEC meeting.
The what do we call this? The disagreements among OPEC members. I heard today that Qatar is getting out too. There's definitely interesting things going on over there in oil, isn't there? Is OPEC falling apart? I don't. Does anybody trade oil out there? What do you guys think about that? We don't really see a whole lot in our crude. Well, actually, I take that back. We are seeing some people. They're not really talking about crude though. Need to get a bungee for my mouse. I guess if it's a tradition, it's okay. But I think that Congress should cancel that testimony. Maybe they already have, and I just don't know. But would seem not a good idea to have the chairman testify that day. And this isn't necessarily the best risk-reward location, to be short. It's been sitting here for too long. I'm gonna let it do one more tick. So now E-mini is moving down again.
German senior conservative saying if Russia stays with its aggressive stance, we must think about sanctions.
Are they adding to 16 and 17? Well,
From that German senior saying they must consider whether it's responsible for German Russian gas.
let me show you. There's always two white lines above or below ZB, depending on what the last pivot direction was.
Fed's calls has now ended remarks at the event in New York.
Okay. My stomach sounds like a zergling. So we tick down and we tick back up. When it ticked down, I kind of started to feel a little FOMO. But I'm now remembering, yes, no. I don't want to be short there because it's basically the bottom of the range. Would be much better to be short at 11.5, wouldn't
We're
it?
just under half an hour to the cash equity open for the US. We have put on our board a rundown for the equity stories. Of course, chip makers and autos really in focus on the back of this trade developments at the G20. As a reminder as well, US stock markets will close on Wednesday to observe the mourning for George H.W. Bush. SIFMA has also recommended the close of cash markets. Meanwhile, in terms of today, there will be a moment of silence to be observed by the New York Stock Exchange at 14:20 GMT, so just under 15 or so minutes time.
Okay.
And equity news, Barclays said to win EU approval for a plan to move its EU business. Barclays is said to be planning to book 45% of its assets in Dublin by Brexit.
Oh, we lost our one Twitch viewer. I'm sorry, guys. So I've been playing Soul Calibur, right? So I've been watching different streams. And I've kind of decided, because, I'll try and make comments and stuff, but like in Twitch chat, you can't really make long comments. They don't, especially when they're playing a game, they don't care to read a long comment. I've noticed. And it just seems to me like, it's a platform that's very much dominated by games and younger people. And so I'm not surprised that we don't have a whole lot of viewers there, because if you're searching around just the channels on Twitch and you come across something that's about financial markets, you're not going to care. Right? But I have thought about streaming in the evening and streaming games just so we could like chill and stuff. It's nice to have people to chat with, and I'm finding that Twitch streams are kind of like the new chat rooms in a way. That was interesting. Pretty strong sell there, but they've held it back up. Anyways, and that's a lot of people hang out. So like in Soul Calibur, there's different channels that everybody kind of hangs out in, and if you actually hang out in those channels long enough, all of the best players will show up and start talking. So that's like the place to be. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, what if we could get something like that going in the evening? But then I don't know if, you guys probably aren't that interested in watching me play games. So I'm trying to think of what we would do that would be the most beneficial. There's still iceberging at 10. I mean, you could buy it at 10. Well, that pull at 10.5 is interesting. A 5-year ticked up. seems to be the cause. E-mini is looking like a sell again. We need to fix the chart here. It's getting the cumulative deltas all messed up again. 8, please fix. Excuse me.
Just a heads up as well, just under 7 minutes time, we will hear from Fed's Williams, 2018 vote centrist, who's speaking at the New York Fed conference on the Treasury market, so we'll keep it.
Now, what's the New York Fed is sponsoring this event? It's interesting. Notice the volume was kind of trailed off. It seems like it's done. When this happened, there was actually some significant absorption on the upside. Now it's all on the buy side again. So we may have to just kind of, relax here for a while.
EU governments back a proposal to force a relocation of systemic UK-based clearinghouse exceptional cases after they want to continue operating in.
Did you notice my 10K lot? I am not gonna tell, of course. Yeah, just a casual 5 million in margin. That's how much it would require for you to do that. $10 million because there was 2. Yeah, but for all we know, it was different people.
EU Commission draft on boosting the role of the euro seen by Bloomberg. The Commission is to back an integrated instant payment system in the EU to explore further role for the euro in the FX market, to propose using the euro as a default currency in energy deals. The UK government has now published its summary of legal advice on Brexit as well.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a 52-page long document. I'm retweeting it as I speak.
Government's legal advice on Brexit deal.
Just under 2 minutes time till we hear from Feds Williams.
Even if you see account numbers, most traders use many accounts, you will never know. That might be true. Hmm.
US update as well. The shooting Pelosi meeting with Trump has been postponed due to Bush's funeral.
So my understanding is that back in the pit, you could have a guy and he could come in and he could, like I could come in and I could buy 10K, right? And you would think, wow, Seth is buying a lot. He must really think that it's going to go up. But it could be the case that I was just commissioned to buy it for somebody else. And that same person could be selling it over here.
Light vehicle sales down 1%, slightly lower, better than estimated. Actually, they were estimated to be down 7%.
So they would kind of do tricks like that. They would pay locals to execute things for them. Because if everybody knew this guy works for Goldman Sachs and he went and he started buying stuff, they would know what was going to happen. So they would use different traders to do that. Or like if it was like your first day, they might give you a task to take advantage of the fact that nobody knows who you are yet. Might be too good of an idea there. Yeah. If they want to buy it again. Oh, I should look at that. Cool, you can now draw ellipses, rectangles, and arrows.
seeing a Fitch piece on Canada, which we put on our board.
We're still in kind of the in ZB at least. It's still kind of in the new uncertain on daily direction area. Good morning. So with what we were talking about earlier, especially you guys that are in the YouTube chat and like to chat in the YouTube chat, would you, if we streamed for like an hour in the evening, not trading, would you guys tune in and chat? Well, here's your cell if you wanted it. I don't think I'm, it's not really showing me like a pivot here. There's only 56 on the offer at 12. That would be a little too easy. So there they are. Is there anything big at 12? No, there's not.
Just a heads up then, just under 10 minutes time we'll get the release of the Canadian market manufacturing PMI read for November. No estimates there, but a prior read of 53.9.
Hmm. Did I say earlier that it was FOMC? I thought I did say that, didn't I? I think I misread that. Beige book. Next week? It's next week, right? Oh. The week after that. The week after that, the 19th. Okay. Mm-mm-mm.
So that minute of silence has now completed.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So they didn't take it. And ZF is selling. Hmm.
It's under 3 minutes time till the Canadian manufacturing PMI read.
This is really interesting. This, and this.
1 minute. Hearing from Jessica Algott via Twitter, who's read some of the summary, it seems, saying the legal advice summary contains none of the dire warnings we've been told the full text does, underlines mutual decision of the Joint Committee on the backstop, no real detail on financial liabilities under transition extension / backstop.
Okay, so on the E-mini open, there was some buying, but it wasn't a ton. Oh, that wasn't the open. I'm sorry. There was a little bit of buying there, though.
Ten seconds. $54.9 for the Canadian markets manufacturing PMI read from
Okay, so
November
there's the buying.
of 53.9.
Treasury's not really responding. Okay, so there's a little bit of buying, and now the sellers are coming in with gusto. Look at that. Well, it feels quite rangy for the start, and yes. So we are starting to get some bearish absorption in the 5-year. Okay.
In 10 minutes' time, we'll be getting the final reading for US market manufacturing PMI from November, expected to be unchanged at 55.4.
It started to look negative to me, and then you got this huge thing at 11.5.
It's not from Iranian official that oil price will drop to $40 per barrel unless OPEC cuts. And there's comments from Iran OPEC governor that oil price will drop to $40 as OPEC cuts. Iran official doubts that OPEC is serious about cutting output.
Hmm.
Continuing saying agree to cut output hasn't been asked.
See, they're all of them are selling now.
Fed cut talks are a response to President Trump's waivers. From the OPEC governor that Qatar's exit OPEC is under.
Block sell.
Some significant absorption here in the E-minis at these levels.
The UAE official that Qatar's decision to leave OPEC is an admission of line of rule because of its political. voters supporting that image and mulling government bond buybacks at extremely spike.
Clear that out, by the way. So, what do we got? I can see some selling coming in, especially in the 30-year. And I can see that the amount of liquidity being absorbed on the bid is less.
Robbins could see suspension of parts of a Brexit deal, but very strong expectation, good faith in Brexit. Okay, answering questions.
See a good risk reward here and in the E-mini. Now, things against me though. Is this 285 in ZF? It might be good that that's there, because that could be a target, but with it being so close and everything, that's not necessarily a good thing. That could be tough to get through. It could be tough to get through. Okay, and a tick up and some absorption on the bid and a flip around on the 5-year. Still absorbing pretty hard in equities. Okay. So now they're getting much, much more aggressive, aren't they?
Minutes now until we get the US market manufacturing PMI final reading for November, again expected to be unchanged at 5.4. Well, 3 minutes time, we'll be getting the results of weekly ECB OMO.
E-mini definitely pivoting there. Question is just for how much. It could flip around right here. Yeah, that's about right where it would do it. A pretty big order there at 27.98. The equities. Hum. That's bullcrap. How am I supposed to hit my income goal if they close all the time? Yeah, being closed on Wednesday is definitely gonna... Yeah. It's definitely gonna screw up the weekend. It might push some business to tomorrow, so we might see a lot of volume tomorrow. Because a lot of people like to buy the E-mini on like Wednesdays. What do we got coming? Final manufacturing PMI. 55.4. Whoa.
10 seconds.
Well, I'm not seeing any polling, so there's a stop run right there.
55.3 for the final reading for US manufacturing PMI. Sales from
Slightly negative.
up 17%, beating 15.
0.1 below
The
expectations.
breakdown on the US market manufacturing PMIs with the final PMI output index at 54.3, the new orders index at 56.7. Results now from the ECB did buy a net of 168 million euros of assets in the public sector purchase program. They sold a net of 218
Block
million
buy.
euros in the covered bond purchase program, also buying a net of 352 million euros
Well,
in the asset-backed security purchase program, while buying a net of 562 million.
okay, so that iceberg there is maybe good, maybe bad. But it ticking up is definitely bad. And I'm not sure if I have the ability to get filled at 12.5. Yeah, look at that. 5-year ticked up again. Yep. Better have given me 2. Nope, it didn't. The liquidity below us is just starting to get a little bit too strong. So they just let the E-mini go. So the E-mini is breaking.
Just be aware, getting reports now from the JEC that Fed Chair Powell's hearing before Congress on Wednesday has been Fed's Powell hearing before Congress on Wednesday has now been cancelled. From the JEC saying no new hearing date yet has been filed.
Hmm. Well, looking back at that last one, you know, there was a little bit of a reason to think that it was going to go higher because you got this. But when you put it in perspective now later, were those short signals bigger than the long signals that we got at that point? They weren't. I was kind of already trapped by that point. When it ticked up, I should have did the -2. Although I think that I would have gotten -2 in real life. The sim always gives me that third one. It kind of sucks. There was enough liquidity for it. And I think some hit back into it too. Definitely don't want to be standing in front of it now, though.
Minutes 9 until we get the US ISM manufacturing PMI for November. That's expected at 57.5 against prior 57.7. We break down the prices paid index expected at 70.0 against prior 71.6. New orders was a prior 57.4. Unemployment's a prior 56.8. As well, we're getting the US construction
Block
spending
by.
for October. That's month to month expected at 0.4% against a prior flat rate.
Give me that. Give me that. Yes. Okay. It does it. It does it. Whatever. I got to take that one. I would even double up on that if I was doing that today, but I'm not. I gave up. I don't want to mess with 2 contracts today. Or this week, actually. So this is the start of the contract, and it's December, and kind of want to stick to what I know works. Hmm. Hmm. You are seeing the offers start to give a little bit more pushback. Like, it has been building there at 15 for a while now. And it didn't go. So the cumulative delta change in the E-mini is not actually all the way, if that makes sense. So it's not actually a ton. Like, they all the buyers just gave up. That's what that looks like. So you might see here in one of these spots, and maybe around here, that it might bounce hard and fast, but it might be very short lived. Okay, E-mini's threatening again, but the treasuries aren't acting the same. Back the new low. And that low was actually a little bit
Block sell.
uh, so when you see a new low, you want to see some aggression and everything, and they kind of made a new low, and it was really slow, and only a few contracts went into it. So it was like the only reason it went low is because nobody wants to buy it. But there was very, very few sellers, so that could be a hard reversal sign. Especially now that the treasuries are selling hard into 13.5. If this works out, we got to thank Keith for that one, because he was the one that would always take this. Yep. That's good.
Three minutes now until we get the US ISM manufacturing PMI for November. Again, that's expected at 57.5. The breakdown prices paid expected at 70.0. New orders a prior 57.4. The employment figure 56.8 previously. Well, the US construction spending for October expected. Month to month 0.4% expected. Prior flat reading.
So I'm not actually seeing any red on my charts. Hmm.
Comments from Secretary Barclay currently in Parliament. It is going to be difficult to vote. Continuing, if the vote does fail, government will look at the 1 minute. From Barclays saying it's unclear what happened. Brexit.
My, oh my, they are trying hard.
Survey now that OPEC did pump 33.3 billion barrels per day of crude in November. Million, sorry. So that was the OPEC output steady as the Saudi output also.
What's the news? ISM.
10 seconds.
Block sell.
59.3 for the ISM manufacturing PMI, while construction
Block
spending
sell.
at minus 0.1%. Running through the breakdown on the ISM manufacturing again at 59.3, beating expected 7.5. The prices paid index at 60.7, while the employment at 58.4.
59.
The new orders at 62.1.
Block sell.
55.3 versus 55 point.
The power
No,
plants
no, 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 no. No, no, that was the previous number.
Or from Barclay, the
59.3 versus
Brexit
57.5.
deal.
So it was better than expected.
Let's look more closely at the ISM. The prices paid index came in the lowest figure since June 2017.
Or should we move it to right there at
The
least?
US construction spending. Private
Block
construction
sell.
spending was down 0.4%. Public spending was up 0.8%.
How big were those?
Block sell.
My goodness.
It's more from Barclay. A no-deal Brexit would damage jobs and
17.
Block sell. Block sell.
So I feel strange right now because I still want to be in. But you can't see a 30k absorb somewhere and not take it. You know what I'm saying? Well. Wow. And the E-mini did
reports that policy
turn
is
there.
said to be emerging, getting bitter for.
What's with this? So you see these big orders at 28 half. Well, it was there, but we traded through it, and then 27 and 3/4. Excuse me. The original gap up last week. Okay, they did tick up. I did the right thing, guys. I got in at the right spot and I got out at the right spot.
Homes. They're reporting that UK ministers could be facing contempt of Parliament law trying to publish the full Brexit legal advice.
Yeah, the birds are awake. Are you proud of me? I got in at the right spot, I got out at the right spot. Now we just have to get back in again at the right spot. I don't know if it's at 11.5.
It's following earlier when we saw the release of the full reason position statement far less than the full document that was expected to be released. So a reminder that Attorney General Cox will be questioned by MPs in the coming.
And those birds, you know, for a long time I was a little concerned about my birds because with the kids around, and Jerry doesn't like the kids, and if you let him out, he'll fly right at them. And then we got this new bird, and this new bird is just not, he's very afraid of people. But, so they've been in the cage more than I would like, but they seem really happy to me lately. Like, they really like my wife. She comes in and talks to them, and they just love it. And they're so chatty in the morning. That's hello. Good morning. Hey, flock, we're over here in this tree. So there's some big targets showing up below us. Okay, so where did the big ones happen at? Okay, there was some at 12.5. So 12.5 is the spot that I want to pay attention to. Yeah, it's actually exactly what I wanted to see there. Okay. Well, I would prefer that it doesn't tick up, but... yeah. Okay. Given how fast this moved and everything, it should happen pretty quickly. Okay. And we should see the E-mini start to really more aggressively push up. Okay, 71 is not necessarily.
More auto news now. Nissan November 2018 sales coming down at 18.7%. They were estimated to be down at 15%.
Oh wow, Yoda was short there too. Oh, okay. Well, there's a 10k there at 12. Okay.
Iran's OPEC governor, that's Qatar's OPEC exit, is regrettably but understandable. Other small OPEC producers are frustrated by Saudi and policy. Those increased oil output since May caused a $30 drop in price and supply. The declaration of cooperation will be extended.
Okay, so that at 12.5 is not what we want to see. So let's just scratch it. Okay. I mean, where the E-mini pattern looks good. They did make a higher low. They haven't made a higher high yet. But when 120 got attacked that quickly, that was like, okay, maybe I'm being too cautious. Nope. So this trade is not going the way I expected it. I'm just wondering if I should get the -1. I think so. Well, now it's probably too late. Toying around with it a little bit too much, aren't they? Hmm. See, they threatening it. They're just a little bit too close. That must be why 12 half is bid now.
Turning to Europe now, FT reporter tweeting a growing feeling in Brussels that Italy's budget fight is over the heads of finance ministers. I think it will be down to Conte and Juncker to solve. General Motors now November US sales said to rise 1.4% this month. Were estimated to be down at 3.6%.
Hmm. Okay. It's looking weak, but they're not getting sellers there. In resistance again in ES.
Just over 10 minutes time to look into the bottom of the hour. We'll be hearing from Fed's Brainard giving the keynote address at the evolving structure of the US Treasury Market Conference, Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Reminder that Fed's Brainard is a permanent voting member and considered centrist. Recent comments saying with fiscal stimulus in the pipeline and financial conditions supportive of growth, shorter run neutral interest rate is likely to move up somewhat further, and it may well surpass a longer run equilibrium rate for some period. As well, at the bottom of the hour, expecting to hear from UK Prime Minister May. Speaking in the Commons, we'll be giving an update on the G20 summit, followed by Mr. Geoffrey Cox, the Attorney General of the UK, statement on the legal position of the withdrawal agreement. We have posted a link to watch the Commons live onto our
Yeah, there's a lot of volume going through at this node. It's not exactly bearish absorption, though. Hmm. Okay. Okay, there's a little bit of red on this one. That's the offer. We are getting red on the absorption. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't have like gunk up in my head today, but it's like I can just feel it going down my throat, and it makes me want to gag. I'm sure you wanted to hear about that, but my goodness. 822. Okay. He appears to be cooperating. Where is it? Right there. Yes. Higher high. They're gonna try and remake this whole thing now. Like maybe go all the way back to 27.95. The absorption here is all bearish. So on this whole way back up. So I think that people in the 10-year, you're not seeing it over here and here. That's why I'm not like super gung ho about it, but definitely in the 10-year they seem to like that news and are trying to get short again on this pullback. Okay. They definitely appear to like this price because they did not get any sells into 12 until it pulled significantly. They're flipping the level 2 a
Got my
lot
tweet now
too.
from President Trump. That's Michael Cohen asking Judge for no prison time. You mean he can do all the terrible unrelated to Trump things having to do with fraud?
Let me read it. Michael Cohen asks Judge for no prison time. You mean he can do all the terrible, unrelated to Trump things having to do with fraud, big loans, taxes, etc., and not serve a long prison term? He makes up stories to get a great and already reduced deal for himself, and yet ... So there's more. I I I mean I really agree with him, to be honest. So like Here's the thing. He did a lot of bad things. Okay. Now, if he is flipping on Trump, quote unquote, and that flipping leads to serious charges against Donald Trump and other high-level people, then worth it. That's okay, right? But so far it hasn't. And so if it hasn't, does he really deserve to get off scot-free just because he did a political hit on Trump? That's fucked up if he gets off. He should not get off. So I don't think he's really helped the special counsel all that much. Just my opinion.
Minutes now to the bottom of the hour. Reminder, we expect to hear from Fed's Brainard giving a keynote at the New York Fed Treasury Market Conference. Expected to hear from UK Prime Minister giving a statement on the summit visit.
So E-mini is moving up pretty strong. It was a good little run up there. It might have to pull back here though. Yeah. Mm. I mean, so granted, there was the one thing I see in the absorption, which is that the 10-year is absorbing short, but the 5 and the 30 are not. And I also see that the E-mini has bought up quite a bit, and they're pretty much back to where we were before they really started selling. So now we're like the overnight lows. So it looks like a sell to me, but I think what might be happening is that they think that that 2695 area is like really significant resistance and they're not going to get through it. And so that's why it's balanced here. Because you've got two sides in treasuries that are trying to make a play on this. My position in the queue is not bad. They did buy through with some big icebergs there, too, before we got to this level.
Just Trump now finishing his tweet. Going again.
Okay, great. An already reduced deal for himself and get his wife and father-in-law who has the money off scot-free. He lied for this outcome and should, in my opinion, serve a full and complete sentence.
Other sources piece now. Ryanair reviews Boeing's order after crash does not rule out cancelling orders. Fed's Brainard, new data showing primary dealers handling the majority of all treasury activity. HFT is not a threat. More analysis needed on systemic intraday trading spikes like at the end of day. Consider that the sharp treasury market movements still occur in the absence of clear news. So reduction of Fed's bond portfolio well underway with no related deterioration in the treasury market liquidity. US economy at or beyond full employment. information around targets, while new data showing primary dealers handle the majority of all Treasury activity.
You hear that? Primary dealers handle the majority of all Treasury activity.
Again, from Fed's Brainerd, inflation is around the Fed's 2% target. Employment. A bit of equity news as well. BMW seeing at least €1 billion impact in tariffs.
You get what I've been saying about where the market is? Ooh, okay, that's interesting. I might actually really go short now. The primary dealers are the only people that are like seriously involved without the Volcker rule. You only have, it's a one-sided market. It's not good. Not fair, frankly. I guess that's the only reason why I'm mad. Dear. Yeah, they flipped and now they're selling. Now they're buying the treasuries up again. Slight change. Not a good one, I don't think. Steady buying here in the E-mini. A little bit of a reaction. Come on. Eh. That's good. Oh. Seems a little bit unhappy that the E-mini is not sure what it's going to do, huh? I think some robots bailed there. They probably got a tick out of it, though. Oh, see, that's not...
Bit of energy news now. FT reporting that there are suggestions that the size of OPEC cuts may not be clearly announced to avoid antagonizing the US.
That's interesting. I really need an oil chart up. I'll do that later. Nope. All right. Well, that's okay. We're still up, right? Yes, sir. 2 ticks. Should be a lot better than that. Well, that's okay. I am getting a much better read, and I do have the spots, so that's good.
Statement out on B20.
Excuse me. How you guys doing? No, not much more activity in YouTube. You guys still awake?
People briefed on the kingdom's oil policy. Princes need to secure US support after the Khashoggi killing drive OPEC decision not based on supply and demand. Prime Minister May saying she did discuss future trade deals with countries including Japan, Canada, China.
Block by.
It's doing it again. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I don't like it. I have to focus on something else. I think I want to go short here, but what's been going on in lobby? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to shut down the stream, but there might be some drama in chat, so you know. That could be fun. Hope you guys have a good day. I made 2 ticks. I hope you did okay. Hi, do you use an indicator as a signal? I mean, I don't. I try not to. I'm trying to watch the DOM, but I definitely look at this thing right here. This one in particular in Jigsaw. See that, Ren? That in particular I pay attention to, not as a signal, but that just tells me something that I seem to be really bad at noticing, and that is when we're trading in a range for a really long time, was one side actually absorbing more than the other? And you can see that that was definitely the case. We bought up a little bit and then we went flat, and people were going short, and then it went up just a few ticks and there was a stop run, and almost all of that volume just puked. So that is a really good example of where it's something to watch for, but it's not necessarily a predictive indicator for a trade, right? The reason I took the spot that I did was because that was where the orders went through when we were on the way down. that they kind of started doing stuff. And so I knew that when we got back to there, that there would be some position defending, and at the very least that it would kind of get flat there.
Trump has named Lighthizer to run the US-China negotiations. Again, that's a Dow Jones piece that President Trump has named the US Trade Representative Lighthizer to run the US-China negotiations.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, I hope that answers your question, but I've got to go. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.